tonight, you did this charity show, and you guys, are pretty much one of the biggest bands in the world, and you come to Toronto to a 900 cap room, and it was unbelievable. What makes you guys do the things that you do, these creative different things that you guys do?
Well, we have a pretty...
I'm pausing right before the interview. Like, you gotta give it to Metallica. They've been around for a long time. They still rocking out like they're teenagers, man. You can't... And their songs are iconic, and they're in almost every movie. Like, for some reason, when like a movie is going on and you hear Metallica song comes on, you know it's about to be epic.
Amazing team, Metallica family, that is their quest is to come up with unique and kind of out of the box ideas. And I think the food bank is obviously a no-brainer, really. We did that on the Death Magnetic tour. Gosh, there's so much leftover catering and food. Let's do something here. And doing local stuff. I think doing local stuff really makes us feel a part of the family of, Toronto and giving. And we love doing that everywhere we go. So,
have you had any time?
See, and that's a good life lesson to learn, like doing local stuff, no matter where you are. If you're in the community or whatever community you're in, you should like give a little bit to your community, depending on where you're at. That's why I might plan to do, depending on like how the finances go. But when for y'all that on my channel, I'll be traveling, so depending on where I go, I'm gonna try to do a little something in each place in my own way. Out there's to getting food, but I'm in entertainment, so I might just do something like that and around that kind of parameter.
To visit Toronto over the years after coming here, have you had any time to, I know it's in and out as a band. Have you been able to experience the city that much?
Not so much this time. I mean, we have before. We have some friends. I mean, there was a friend of ours that showed up at the show yesterday that, he's an old biker buddy, and he's like, we've been friends since 1984. It's pretty unbelievable to have someone, we've got a few friends like that in different towns, and they show up, and it's a good feeling to know you got a friend in a certain town.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Moth into Flame, if we can talk about the album now, which is fantastic. Moth into Flame, one of my favorite songs, and I was just reading about the inspiration, and you mentioned Amy Winehouse. Can you tell us the story?
Yeah, well, just watching that movie was extremely saddening. And how her life went from just such a lively, joyous person to someone who was just trying to escape the reality of where she was. And it really hit me in the one part of the movie where she was lost in her mind, it seemed, and she was just leaving her flat in England to go somewhere, and the press were just like hanging out in front of her place all the time, and just snapping these pictures of her. Hey Amy, how's it going? How's this? And talking to her like they know her, and they just don't notice how. I mean, they wouldn't say, "Gosh, you look skinny. You look unhealthy," or something. There was a total connection there with reality. And just noticing the fame part, and how that can really be a drug for some people, and it certainly has been for us in our career. But just growing up with it, and
the fame, that's a real that thing is a drug. I know, because I lived in Hollywood California for about 15 years, and I was doing a Hollywood lifestyle for about 15 years, in and out of LA, auditioning, doing music videos and commercials, and doing game shows, a lot of game shows, doing some TV and movies here and there. But when you get that first taste of people recognizing you on the street from television, you want to catch that next high, yo. I feel it. I know what he's talking about.
How do you deal with fame? What do you do with that? How does it affect you? And at what point do you realize that this might not be as healthy as I think it is for me?
How do you stay grounded? How do you do it?
Well, I've got a wife that kicks my first of all, kids that tell it like it is, that to me is love right there. When your kids, Dad, you're being a jerk, you know? I love that. That's what helps me a lot. Family certainly does that. I think the guys in the band too. We all keep each other in check. Like, you know, dude, is that limo a little too long? Come on. I mean, you know, just goofy things like that. You know, we try and keep each other real. So I think not surrounding ourselves with yes men too, which can really just totally distort your reality.
Are you ever able to, like James, just walking into the grocery store, or just going to go shopping for the holidays? Are you ever able to do that?
Oh, yeah. Well, when I don't have my butler doing that, sure. You know. Oh, gosh. Where we live, no one cares. You know, it's just like, oh, is that dude again? You know, or some people just don't even know, which is, I love that. And I don't know, I think it just really depends on where you are. You know, if you're on tour somewhere and people are expecting you to be there and there's a different feel. But living at home, I think they get over it. They get over the, like, ooh, you're the guy. And then they realize, oh, you're just another dork, you know.
You are, the rumor is, and you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, or maybe not, the rumor is you are going to tour now for the next 2 years. Please tell me that's true.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, yeah, making a record and then wanting to go play it live makes a lot of sense.
Now, do you bring your family with you? How does that work? 2 years is a very long time.
Sure, yeah. School still gets in the way of some fun for them, but wherever there's a super unique show or a learning opportunity or there's just time off, they'll be there. And I love having them out there, which is very opposite of what it used to be, you know. But I tell you, watching the kids enjoy the different cultures, and they've seen a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. It's really, really cool. Yeah, we'll be going to China, I think, in January, and we told the school, hey, we're yanking the kids, you know. They're going off to China, and they said, oh, yeah.
I'm gonna start right there. I'm gonna check the comments below what people thought about this interview. I love Metallica, man, especially their philanthropist stuff too as well. Let me check what people think about it in the comments below. You got Jared Fullerton. I know he wasn't always like this, but James is literally the picture of not letting fame and fortune go to your head. He's just another guy, despite being a titan of metal. Super nice guy. We got Lori Hooley says, I love this man so much. He's so kind and extremely intelligent and the best. Most talented frontman of the best band ever. Metallica, heart shape. Then we go down to, we got Brad Forrest. He says, Metallica is my band. I love how humble they are. Metallica never formed. I'd be lost if they never formed. I guess that's what you meant to say. The Greatest Laugh Ever by James Allen Hetfield. That was written by Speed Tracker 95. Then we got, if I can say that right, Kurt said, Kaya, every time I see or hear him, I just can't stop being joyful. And thank God this year I met him, watched him from the front row, and got picked from him. Oh, and from that day, the front man decorated by two on my mind, Hetfield and the others. Oh, I guess that was a good treat. I guess he made your day right there. And the last one, Dave Rossi. I remember seeing them at Rock on the Range in 2017, I think. They were awesome, loud, and yet they were nearly drowned out by the 40-some thousand fans screaming the lyrics back. Incredible show. Yeah, like all the Metallica reactions I've done in this show, especially when I do reactions to their live shows, like that audience is crazy. They be screaming, yelling, headbanging, everything you can say under the sun. And I'm sure they can't really hear the music that well, but they know the lyrics by heart, so it really doesn't matter. As long as they see their band rock out and they can hear the bass on that thing. All right, if it's your first time to my channel, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment below. Let me know what else you want to react to. I'm going to be traveling, so I'm going to be reacting to some of these bands in their local neighborhoods. I'm going to be traveling on the East Coast, first in the Caribbean, then I'm going to head myself down to Southeast Asia. It's your boy Sheik-A-Deak. I'm out.